offense that Washington was planning on. Not going to do that.
Here we go, Mystics and tempo right into the hands of Laura Yuskaita.
This is going to be at the top of mind, especially for Toronto, especially when Sony Citron moves to the PG2 when Georgia Amore goes out.
Normal starting five for the Mystics. Georgia Amore cans
28% on the season, striking from three. Out of the gates, good notion for Washington. Great decision making.
Kiki Wright really emphasize pushing pace, but they want to stay clean. As Sony Citron down low to Austin. Lost the handle.
Well, Georgia Amore, she has been tremendous in terms of her playmaking ability, but this time she's to start things off for Washington. The big guard, Shakira Austin, with a spray out after getting a piece of the paint and drawing her defender to the lane line.
This year, they've been hampered by injuries. They do get Julie Alamon, their starting point guard, back. She's missed the last two with the left calf.
And she was questioned, so they have some depth.
3 to shoot. Yuskaita through 2 defenders. Tough lay-in.
To the basket like that. Under duress with 2 defenders in her space.
Leading crew tonight, Isaac Barnett's our crew chief, Jason Alabanza, and Ken Jones as they go inside the area fin, high-low to perfection.
Third of the floor, and the smash action is what she calls it. But definitely the high-low look. From upstairs to downstairs, usually an easy deuce.
To strip by Citron. To area fit on the block. Great body control by Kiki.
Being impeccable by Kitron on that play.
Yuskaita off tomorrow. Out to Citron.
Solid wall-up defense on the inside by Iriafin. Doing it on both sides.
Sony track.
Well, Washington getting out to a blistering start here in the district. Look at this high-low look. Onowede right again, and connectivity in the open floor. Kitron coming alive.
Another hot start for Iriafin. Yeah, double digits. Citron travel.
That was a tough one. You saw again, and to our point in the open, right? It's not just the interior players who crave a piece of the paint. All 5 players want to shrink the defense, dimes off, or attack the cup and finish.
Rice into the paint. Nowhere to go. Good defense. Morrow with.
That's the size advantage that Washington brings, especially on the defensive end.
Oh, blocking foul. Austin getting into the.
And Shakira right here, a workhorse. And spinning and almost winning on that one, but drawing back. There are not a lot of players in the league that can do what I can do. And she's not saying that in a pompous way. She's saying that in a confident way because she's put the work in. So who haven't won before? So it sounds like you're bragging when you're talking about it, but it's not a brag because
to the left, Citron foul. First foul on Sony.
Rice healthy. The last time these 2 teams competed here in DC, she was out with an ankle injury and missed a portion of the beginning of the season, but she went to Sydney. A teammate at UCLA with Lauren Betts.
Rice had a tough time out in her first meeting against Washington. Didn't score in that game. Orlis gets the free throw there. Since coming back from her ankle injury, has been averaging just under 9.5 points. It's been so big for Toronto to get her back. Every game has keys. Christy, what are yours against Toronto tonight?
Well, second chance points, Washington does themselves. And they have to be able to attack the paint as well. Oh, snap.
Underneath the basket.
So I held off on the second key there because of the collision that occurred. 2 defenders and trying to split the wickets, but on that backside, Izzy Harrison got a piece of Shakira Austin there. Was to definitely stay defensive minded and be disciplined on that end. And they have to stay consistent. Since July 2nd, they have been first in defensive rating, but also taking the
best defensive team by field goal percentage in the league. Pump fake, that's a good drive by Harris. Tons of contact, Harrison helping Austin to her feet. It was last touch by Morrow.
Good spig each other up there, but you know, Washington has been tremendous, only giving up 42%. Their field goal percentage defense, right in that just as much as they have pounding the ball in the paint and finishing in there as well.
Iriafin. Alaman fires up the three, laced it.
The top of that screen and got hung up with how quickly let that three ball go. But right there, that gap has to be closed more quickly. If Sony can't
Movement, Onyenwere gave up the three. Citron back up top. Amor triple try. She got it.
beat his own. Rapid reversal of the basketball. And Georgia Amor cashing in yet again.
Morrow finds the bottom of the cup.
Been adaptable, Sandy Brondello said here with Toronto as of late.
Citron, back-to-back three.
Last 5 games from 3, so great to see her back in sync from the outside after leading the league from there last year percentage-wise.
Sony had the only 4. They has Citron and threw it away.
A little too overzealous there. But Sony Citron, 8 of Washington's 19 points have come on the inside, and Dempe, especially shorthanded.
The losing skid actually started against the Mystics as Morrow cans another 3.
Well, Lauren Betts right there in a little bit of a drop coverage. If you're going to go ahead and make her earn that 3, but she's knocked in a couple of them now. So sometimes you test it and see what they're doing. I'm sure next time.
Second foul on Anissa Morrow. Reinforcements coming in for Washington. That's going to be a big advantage for the Mystics, just the depth that they tow
after losing to the Indiana Fever last night. And you know, that's always taxing, even with the charter. I mean, you still have to get here.
You don't have to tell me twice. I've never been more tired than when flying around during season.
That zone at 2-3. And rotate them.
McMahon misfired on the 3. Austin there and draws the foul.
Well, that's why she's very dominating on the offensive boards. Right there, 2 high hands. Catch it high, keep it high. And got hit on the way up. Shakira Austin is just having such a magnificent season for the Washington Mystics. Career high numbers across the board.
And this is a game that you think would favor Austin and Iriefin during this losing streak. Toronto is giving up nearly...
You're looking at Shakira Austin. I mean, she's 8th in the league, averaging 10 paint points, and that's a big reason why. Your second and third opportunities, and she puts herself in the right place.
Coming up with a steal. Pass up the transition 3. Washington will set the offense. Austin gets it.
Look at the hustle.
In and out of the hands of Laney.
Well, good job there. I mean, Flora thought better than to pull that open triple on the first catch and threw it to Shakira. Aggressiveness. I think both of those shots and both of those decisions were good ones for the Mystics.
Benaja's team has been nearly seamless. Just had her first full practice earlier this week.
Yeah, after only having shoot-arounds and walk-through, real practice, going 5s. But also, you know, when they take that break for the World Cup, Sydney Johnson told us ahead of the game, and give her more opportunities for continuity.
Swarming defense there by the Mystics, nearly forced the turnover.
Let's take a look at that last sequence. Good deflection. Cody McMahon lives flash before there. I see Cody McMahon coming their way. I thought I would have closed my eyes, honey, and put my hands up. But
Beck Benlay knocks down the 3 3-pointers.
Very active, and Sandy Brondello said that she loves what she sees from her and the anchor that she has been for them on the defensive side as well.
In fact, Benley going to get more minutes. Iriefin getting downhill through 3 defenders. Nurse reaches in there and a travel's called.
Yeah, that second side of defense came quick. Saw her as well. Came right down the crowd, the space of Kiki Iriefin, so she couldn't spin back. Now we'll see what Kiki does when she catches it. Not Kiki Rice, because she has the ball right now. Kiki Iriefin on the other side.
Floreth matched up on Nurse. Nurse shakes loose, gets the 2.
She quality veteran experience.
McMahon using her physicality. Offensive foul.
Too bad, because, you know, you love to see a decisive move right here by Cody in to the established defensive player, Kia Nurse, who was on the ground. You saw her hand pointing the other way. But
well, Sandy Brondello told us pregame that she wanted her team to match the physicality of Washington.
Well, they have. The last couple of defensive possessions, they've
off by McMahon. Tiani Key in the game. Walled up by Iriefin, still gets it to go.
Yeah, she to get it out of her hands in time.
That's going to be a foul on Benley. Mystics, that is going to be the 5th team foul on Toronto, so Washington going to try and get the lead back at the free throw line, but it's a 15-7.
Upon how Washington stays decisive on the defensive end, right? We're talking about their defensive prowess coming into this game, but Flora, when you come to the game and you don't see Mayberry on the scout because she's out, Sykes out for rest in this game, so talk to him, and he was saying that, we're not going to pick up. Our pickup points aren't going to be feet behind the line and transition a lot of times, but they're still going to play on a string, and they have to be disciplined on that side for sure.
Beckers, and he said they got their tails kicked. Harrison lost the handle, but it was last touched by the Mystics.
You have to be where you're playing, and that's so vitally important to understand, especially for this iteration of Mystics basketball.
Again, mid-range, around and out. Rebound, McMahon.
She loves that 1-2 dribble pull-up and loves to get where.
Betts begging for it. Betts taken on key and wins it.
And get out of the way. I love move. I mean, we've just seen her improve WNBA so far. It's been fun to watch her.
Under a minute to play in the opening quarter. Rice pulls the 3. We're tied at 20.
UCLA champs last year. I know Corey Close is watching.
Lainey Hamilton fouled. Washington has done a good job our opening quarter.
The player there, Sandy Brondello, very familiar with her, and a chance to coach her in New York. She said, yeah, I coach taking on a new challenge here in the district, but nothing but high regard for Benaja Lainey Hamilton from Sandy Brondello earlier tonight.
WNBA championship with the Liberty. It's about 15. Key, 3-pointer off the mark. Swatted out of bounds by Bancole.
Benaja Lainey Hamilton didn't get that rebound. She was like, that's all right, you're not going to get it. And had the most quality box out of the evening so far.
Citron off the screen. Iriafin with 5. McMahon with... didn't get it off in time. That brings the opening quarter to an end. Washington led by as many as 7, but at end before Toronto made a 15-7 run midway through to cut the deficit.
Yeah, they went to the zone and just kind of watered down, but they've been good when they've gotten the ball to the second side and the extra ball reversals.
Iriafin off glass and in. She's in games.
The fluidity of that move across the lane was a thing of beauty for...
Harrison still looking for her first points, not going to get them there. Iriafin on the ground.
The trenches, man.
Nearly a turnover. Austin. Back up top. Amor. Her third 3 of the night. Alamon. Back up top to Morrow. Can't answer with a 3. Inside out, McMahon, no. Alamon quickly up court. Alamon, deep 3-pointer from the top of the key, wedged it off to the left. Creating space into the hands of Austin.
An unmatched effort there.
Washington winning the battle of the boards 14-4 up until this point. On the deck. No, and a foul.
And I think the only reason that whistle sounded is because she left her feet. And when you leave your feet, you give up your legal guarding defensive position. 6th in the league and block shots, 1.3 blocks for Shakira. Right there, just kind of mistimed that with her body.
About the pride that she takes in her interior defense. She doesn't want to just be known as a defender in the paint.
Yeah, but that's why she's different than me because I just want to block everything. But no, we've seen her in cross matches, nimble with it. She stays on her toes and loves the challenge of that. So I respect it. That's big time stuff. She's 6'6" the floor.
Amor out to Onyenwere from the wing, 3 down.
Here for Washington has been clicking on all cylinders from 3. And Onyenwere, a 40% valuable asset she is as a floor spacer in terms of how hard Washington attacks the cup.
Nurse getting right into the body of Georgia.
But Washington now doing a great job with their distribution against the defense. Long there before she's into her shot pocket and her mechanics with the stick arm. And you know, that's why you space the floor against the zone. And that's why you really count on the defense over helping. And that's what happened to Toronto on that play on the defensive side.
10-0 run for the Mystics. That last play was whistled as a Betts. And putting it on the floor. It traveled.
When you're lower to the floor, and that's something you have to continue to build with.
Skaita's looked for every opportunity to get down.
Good job by Georgia Amor to get skinny over top. Stay planted defensively. Nice.
Morrow up. Couldn't put it back. Amor cut off by Alm.
I thought she had Shakira on that back cut. I thought better of it.
Citron, the step through, no.
Really good patience there, and Sydney Johnson right in front of us, clapping up Shakira Austin, saying good job. Right there, you see Sony Citron off the mark, but on the glass yet again, right place, right time, is Shakira Austin on the offense.
And that's a big foul because that's 3 on Anissa Morrow.
They already have, say Slim, but Slim's not out.
Sometimes it just works like that.
I didn't mean to do it, but oh man. Brittany Sykes obviously is nicknamed Slim, especially on the inside, right? They didn't even have Sably travel with the team, so you got to go. But now people are kind of out of position with Morrow getting in foul trouble for sure.
Yeah, Uskaita is one of those players, as we've got another offensive foul, who's been out.
Yeah, Cindy Bardello said before the game, we've been so unlucky with our injury issues. As soon as we get players back, so if you will. But that builds your fortitude. That brings out the best in terms of your character.
Going to struggle to build that continuity, and on the flip side, we've seen that continuity grow and grow for the Mystics as they've continued to work through this experience.
That Cody McMahon told us that at practice. She said, we're tired of hearing that we're young, but like we're dogs out here. We want to compete and get better every game, and they have. But she caught the ball, and I think that's what she's trying to get concise clarification on.
Inbound, Uskaita again looking to push. Crafty along the baseline.
To crowd the space, and Uskaita has been really doing damage on the inside for Toronto.
The good thing for Washington is they've done damage as well from the inside and on the interior on cue. Austin.
We love that smash action. That's what Sandy Bardello calls it. That high ball screen in the middle third of the floor.
Rice somehow came over the top of the screen.
Good job by Shakira to plug that space.
Foul on Onyenwere.
You're in drop coverage a little bit, but then off of that 2-point and disallow a straight line drive to the rim. So with her presence alone, she made a different decision.
Ariafin back on the floor for the Mystics. Already 11 points for Kiki, 3 rebounds.
Against this Toronto team in the 2 games this season. Just under 19 points and 15 rebounds. Shooting 61% in those.
7 boards for Big Red. They go into her hair. Took the hit. Still found the lane plus the foul.
Shakira Austin, Big Red going to work right here. Look at her surveying and then getting right to the money. On the baseline side, sit in. Shakira Austin, right? All defensive and definitely all league. At this point, she's not up for those awards at this point. For me, it definitely qualifies. Numbers.
Austin serving.
Big guard. Defense is on a string for the Washington Mystics. A double block, allowing anything easy by the tempo. That's a tempo control right there by Washington.
The GDI one loves an Oreo.
Hey, you know what? I like the single stuff, but I'll take a double stuff now and then.
Another rebound for Iriefin. Lead for the Mystics. Skip pass. McMahon into the lane, left it short. Rice to Yuskaita. Whipped out to the corner. 3-ball down for Bang.
By Toronto and really used Washington's defensive prowess against them on that. They just overcommitted to the basketball there in time.
Lainey Hamilton had her pocket picked. Austin tried not to get the foul. Both she and Iriefin 11 points apiece.
A good switch up top with McMahon and Citron.
Washington gets the steal. There is a whistle before Iriefin could get the shot or the pass off. Foul on Bancole, her second.
Yeah, but power that Iriefin brings to the floor is just absolutely unmatched, and she's just brilliant. When and where to use.
Citron still sitting on those 3 points. McMahon rises, can't hit the three. Rebounding, taken on Harrison, left it short. Good job by McMahon.
Really good screen coverage here with a double team and a blitz by Washington.
On the wing, 3-ball won't go. Iriefin tracks it down.
The attention to detail on defense on that possession was top tier for the Mystics.
Continuing to pad their rebounding lead. Lainey Hamilton, top of the key. That goes down tonight.
A 6-2 advantage on the O glass and an 8-2.
Betts turns the corner for 2 more.
Now that is becoming her signature move. It moves at UCLA, but it's different coverages because of who she's playing with now in the WNBA.
Why does that move work so well?
And now there's no help. You can't help off the Sony Citron on the ball side because she's going to cash in from 3. And then you can't pinch in from the top because Washington.
6 of 9 from the perimeter tonight for the Mystics. Finds McMahon slicing through the lane, crawls over the rim.
Anything I can to impact winning. And that's what she does coming off the bench. Playing with such a high level of energy. Cut like that as a rookie.
Out to Key from the corner, 3-ball no good. Iriefin another board. Betts in the short corner, back up top. Iriefin. Cut. Harrison.
Great triangle box out drill you just saw displayed in game. All 3 players checked off in a triangle there. No bite of the apple inside. Just tremendous, fundamentally sound hoops right now for the Mystics.
Under 10 seconds left in the half. Air ball. .4 seconds remain. It'll be Bancole to take it out. Alamon leaves it back for Bancole. Won't get a shot off, but what an opening. And has averaged around 5.5 3-pointers. They're north of that.
Yeah, coming into this game just 29% as a team, which is 15th in WNBA. So definitely a threat on the inside, though.
Washington held the tempo to under 39% shooting in that first half. The floor tried to make her presence felt. Long rebound to Harrison.
Good job again by Shakira Austin to be right there to help.
Morrow blocked by Iriefin.
Staunch defense by Iriefin inside with that big block.
Put that one down. Would have been a 4 for 4. She was feeling the little crossover.
Well, we've seen her go 4 for 4 in a game before from range.
Extra pass, Rice. Step back. Pop the 3.
Kiki Rice built back up after missing those games earlier. She was the first player to have an NIL deal with the Jordan brand and in high school. So she's been, you're looking at what Washington has been able to do. They have to stay aware here defensively.
Yuskaita again getting right to the right.
I mean, Washington had an advantage. Got to stay aware, head on a swivel. Make sure you know what's going on when that ball is being pushed ahead.
Since Los Angeles went on a run. Onyenwere from the wing. No. Area Finn, second chance. Rice into the body of Citron, scoop goes down.
All right, with that long arm.
Transition triple, glances off the Amor, no. Citron on the board. Onyenwere, no.
Sticks.
Ruskaita from the mid-range, couldn't hit. Harrison creating some space. Citron took the hit, got fouled. Citron knocks down when these two teams met in July back in Toronto, but did a number on Marina.
Defensive job in that game by Sony Citron, who had to go through every single defensive scheme to try to
Area Finn through two defenders and another foul.
nation on the inside, and and has played inside out so incredibly well and so consistently well throughout the season, with teams knowing that's what they want to do. It's like, well, okay, they're scoring in there, but everyone knows that, and no one's able to take it away from them. I mean, 60 of their 80 points came in the paint. 8 games this season, they've scored more than 50 paint points. So that's the mark of excellence right there.
Washington has scored 40 or more paint points in 11 straight. That's second best in WNBA history. Paint points there.
Way to the cup yet again is Kiki Rice.
Austin got Ruskaita in the air. Finn just ripped it away.
By the drop-off dime by the big guard, Shakira Austin on that one. And the sit, so beautiful to watch.
Beck Benley for 3 from the wing. Won't go on you, hanging on you like that.
Definitely. I probably found out by now this season.
Onyenwere! 3 more. Ruskaita downhill out to Nurse. Can't. Running with Area Finn. Finds Onyenwere. Let the defender
vice versa. It really makes it tough to choose what you want to take away defensively.
Alamon found Key cutting to the cup. Better start to the quarter for the Tempo. They're shooting 40%. Citron down and out.
You can tell that the pace of play for Toronto has been different here. A little bit more and get right into their secondary actions.
Nurse fires the 3.
Toronto is, and then striking with the Kia Nurse triple on that one. Washington has to stay alert and disciplined.
As much coming out of the locker room at the half. Can't play down to Toronto. Betts with 4. It's here short-handed tonight without their 4 stars. Nurse can't hit it. Amor the rebound.
You can see Nurse trying to hunt out that matchup with Georgia. Amor advantage for Nurse.
Area Finn goes over top. No. Betts battling. Key on the inbound. Citron to the line to take the free throw. Knocks it down. Away from the play foul before the ball was inbounded. That is what.
A dead ball infraction. Washington will take it in from underneath here.
Angela Dugalich on the floor now. 3 to shoot. Citron to the rim, no.
And to get her a touch. Late shot clock situation there.
First created space, Betts the board. On ball, Dugalich. Off to the right.
It just opens up the vision. But you see how fast Toronto wants to play. And too much mustard on that Ben's chili bowl.
After chili though, that's been my thing. But I have down. Rice to Ruskaita. Easy lay-in.
Floor, these fast break opportunities have been at a premium here for Toronto in the second half, for sure.
Well, even against Indy to 5 in the 4th quarter. Flora through the lane, the kick, Lainey Hamilton, no. Dugalich.
Yeah, that's what she does. She does the yeoman's work. And finding her way to the basketball, to keeping possessions alive. And that's what Angela Dugalic did exceptionally well on this play. Just picking grapes off a vine over the top. Former teammates at UCLA also. But I mean, Dugalic was 6th player of the year in the Big Ten. Doesn't matter if you start, but you're going to finish the game. She was in at the end of a lot of games for UCLA.
I really like Dugalic, the process and not being results oriented.
Absolutely, but that's how you win. And the progress and the process of it all.
Into the corner, Benley puts down another
Yeah, 38% striker coming into this one from the outside, but especially now they're trying to dig back into this one on the road.
Floreth tried to thread the needle, turned it over. Here in the 3rd quarter, still an 11-point Washington lead. Floreth gonna get whistled for the foul.
Pesky with it.
Has tremendous intangibles. Oh my, Kiki!
Chili over here. We're talking about chili. Triple by Kiki Rice. Spicy with it.
Floreth found Lainey Hamilton off to Dugalic. Betts with 6. Good. Puts the foul.
Benaja Lainey Hamilton with a birdie, a pump fake, and then get to the second line of defense. Not ready for all that. In front of the lip of the rim, a smooch off the window for a deuce and a +1.
Got the old foul. Her veteranship has been something that Washington has really
professional season, right? And she knows all of these teams exceptionally well. That's what Sydney Johnson told us. So it's like having yet another coach.
Try to create space. Great defense from Floreth, who then tracked down the rebound. Came away with it and tons of contact. So Sydney Johnson wanted to see his team take control of. He said, we've been too up and down.
I mean, that's free money. Maximize possessions. Free throws are in essence possessions. So if you can get those in unguarded, you got to take advantage of that.
Oh. Reaction and analysis. A one-on-one with Lauren Betts and preview the matchup with Minnesota.
One-on-one with Lauren Betts. I mean, she's so much fun to talk about, just the levels and layers of who she is and what she brings to the floor. Ironing out really well right now.
And we've seen her really come alive here in the second half.
Everything else. Attack points, decision making on defense as well.
Under 20 seconds here in the 3rd quarter. Honest and a foul on the floor.
It looked like Alethea Floreth, like sometimes you want to face guard when you're who was taller than you away from the basketball. So she didn't turn around because we saw Kiki Rice get picked over her head trying to box out somebody going to face guard and kind of body block you, and you can't do that. The freedom of movement.
15 foul on the Mystics this season, but missed the 7th free throw attempt of the night for Toronto. So Washington playing some staunch defense. Shot clock is off.
The horn set here. See how they're going to read.
To Dugalic. With 1. Dugalic won't get it off. Just front court double-doubles for Austin and Uriafit.
Well, Washington outscored Toronto 22-9 in that 2nd quarter, but in the 3rd, Toronto, so they flipped a switch in terms of their pace of play and their ability to score inside. Washington has to take away the paint.
Harris.
But we were just talking about taking the paint away. Washington has to disallow that. Toronto doing a good job offensively to space the floor.
Beautiful dime from Citron, knocked away. A Washington streak of 11 straight with 40 or more points in the paint for the Mystics.
But for me, I'm more concerned on the other side, defensively for paint points. It feels like Toronto has found some success in there. When you find success in there, you're going to continue until some adjustments are made. Not necessarily schematic changes that need to be made, just more force and intentionality to not let them get to where they want to go. Attack points that they have sniffed out.
Lainey Hamilton got her defender in the air. May have gotten away with an up and down.
It's like Michael Jackson on that one. That's one of those he moves. But that was a great play. Come off the ground, get him out of the way, and shoot it.
It's another Michael Jackson dance move that Sydney Johnson's going to have to teach the team. Austin altered the shot.
There's too many of them. I concur with that.
Uriafit, extra pass, Lainey Hamilton. Amor passed it up. Lainey Hamilton, still no. Batted around. Yuskaita, the strong drive to the rim.
It's on that right side. Solid finish yet again inside for Toronto.
Down and out for a couple of looks. 11-point game. Still plenty of time left for the tempo. Harris.
Washington has 13 second chance points.
Hard hit to Citron. She's going to the line. Waved by the Mystics.
And she was a toughie. I thought she had a pretty good camp with Washington, but she's an energy giver. These opportunities are such a big-time moment for players across the league.
Brondello said she just brings it first.
Yeah, and she said not just on the glass, she said in every aspect. As you see right here, dance with the stars inside.
And it's battling Austin.
And like with a pity pat, nice and low for Morrow on the finish.
Dunker spot on Inwede, kicked it back out. Amor
peppered that in throughout the game, a 2-3 that last possession defensively.
Alaman, deep three off the front. Give and go. Yuskaita tapped it off of Iriafin. Down Austin, inside. Out to Citron. Midi, got it.
Get a piece of the paint, get second chance opportunity.
Foul on the Mystics. They'll get Iriafin, her first of them.
The beauty of Sonia Citron's game, the two-time All-Star, she just stays ready in moments like this. Teeth and money in the midi right there for a deuce.
He's really worked this year on getting long this season, but once that hits, that then opens up more opportunities for Sonia to get downhill.
Well, she's been guarded differently this season and to the point guard spot.
Iriafin doing it all on her own.
Wheels in motion, Iriafin. And really solid defense there by Iriafin.
Alaman stepped up to contest on Inwede and picked up the first. Iriafin will turn 24 next week.
Yeah, how about that? Kobe year.
Extra pass out to Onyenwere. Three ball down. Onyenwere back in double digits for the first time since August 10th.
Oh, good switch there by Lauren Betts, and now blitz.
Harrison fouled, or excuse me, that's Benley fouled on her way to the rim.
But I really did like the scramble on the. Gotta have that second line of defense ready. And they were there. Washington has pretty much taken full command on the advantage for Washington. Need to keep that up.
Attention Mystics fans, your local listings for more information.
Ooh, we have the spectacle coming to the district on Friday along with the entire Minnesota. Matter of fact, Washington is the only team in the league that has defeated every single team.
Steal by Morrow, out ahead to Alaman.
Oh, boy.
Give and go. Alaman fouled by Amor.
Oh, I was about to say, ooh, that extra pass was like a lightning bolt to the weak side. Georgia Amor tried to stay vertical, but again, she left her feet on that net. I think she would have been legal in terms of her position as a legal guardian defender there.
Sydney Johnson was on Toronto, the third best free throw shooting team in the league by percentage. They've been capable.
Let's see what happened on that last play. They left arm initially, but then at the end of the play, that right arm punching in there.
Morrow goes 1 for 2. Austin. A couple of times in this game, Toronto has made runs to Benley, three-pointer down.
She can make those. She's made them in this game, but she's made them coming into this game as well.
McMahon from the wing, can't answer. Austin doesn't get the rebound. Morrow's there. A sequence getting Iriafin up off the bench for the Mystics. Rice creates space. Last touched.
There's organic approach that she had to this game.
Onyenwere misfires on the three, Nurse the rebound. Morrow with the offhand and the foul. Anissa Morrow showing some strength.
Defense right there, but just a better offensive level of execution. Iriafin right there cutting off the baseline, so Morrow didn't get fully extended to contest, and I think that's where the issue came about.
Morrow spent the majority of the season as a reserve, averaged about 10 points, 8.5 boards, up to 18 points off the bench.
She's played in 25 games combined between her first year of competition in the league.
Back into Betts with 6, the spin to the left, down and out for Lauren Betts, just going for it. Morrow going for it against Iriafin, and another foul.
If an off balance, smart decision by Anissa Morrow there to get right into the body.
Feels like what we see from the Mystics in the fourth quarter.
Right, but we've also seen some clutch play by Sony Citron and Kiki Iriafin. Clutch points made this season, and clutch points. That's when games of the end of games, whether that be regulation. We had a 4 overtime game earlier this year with Washington. So All-Stars who shine their brightest in clutch moments. That's big time stuff and a building block for the Mystics.
Digit deficit on June the 12th as Onyenwere came up short on the 3. Took a buzzer beater from Citron to lift the Mystics in that game.
There when Washington got another offensive rebound.
Iriafin off balance. A 20-piece for Iriafin.
Post dangerous.
Betts couldn't haul it in. Out. Morrow spent the majority of the season as a reserve, averaged about 10 points, 8.5 boards, up to 18 points off the bench.
She's played in 25 games combined between her first year of competition in the league.
Back into Betts with 6, the spin to the left, down and out for Lauren Betts, just going for it. Morrow going for it against Iriafin, and another foul.
If an off balance, smart decision by Anissa Morrow there to get right into the body.
Feels like what we see from the Mystics in the fourth quarter.
Right, but we've also seen some clutch play by Sony Citron and Kiki Iriafin. Clutch points made this season, and clutch points. That's when games of the end of games, whether that be regulation. We had a 4 overtime game earlier this year with Washington. So All-Stars who shine their brightest in clutch moments. That's big time stuff and a building block for the Mystics.
Digit deficit on June the 12th as Onyenwere came up short on the 3. Took a buzzer beater from Citron to lift the Mystics in that game.
There when Washington got another offensive rebound.
Iriafin off balance. A 20-piece for Iriafin.
Post dangerous.
Betts couldn't haul it in. 10 points, 8.5 boards, up to 18 points off the bench.
She's played in 25 games combined between her first year of competition in the league.
Back into Betts with 6, the spin to the left, down and out for Lauren Betts, just going for it. Morrow going for it against Iriafin, and another foul.
If an off balance, smart decision by Anissa Morrow there to get right into the body.
Feels like what we see from the Mystics in the fourth quarter.
Right, but we've also seen some clutch play by Sony Citron and Kiki Iriafin. Clutch points made this season, and clutch points. That's when games of the end of games, whether that be regulation. We had a 4 overtime game earlier this year with Washington. So All-Stars who shine their brightest in clutch moments. That's big time stuff and a building block for the Mystics.
Digit deficit on June the 12th as Onyenwere came up short on the 3. Took a buzzer beater from Citron to lift the Mystics in that game.
There when Washington got another offensive rebound.
Iriafin off balance. A 20-piece for Iriafin.
Post dangerous.
Betts couldn't haul it in.
By Sony Citron and Kiki Iriafin. Clutch points made this season, and clutch points. That's when games of the end of games, whether that be regulation. We had a 4 overtime game earlier this year with Washington. So All-Stars who shine their brightest in clutch moments. That's big time stuff and a building block for the Mystics.
Digit deficit on June the 12th as Onyenwere came up short on the 3. Took a buzzer beater from Citron to lift the Mystics in that game.
There when Washington got another offensive rebound.
Iriafin off balance. A 20-piece for Iriafin.
Post dangerous.
Betts couldn't haul it in.
It's of the end of games, whether that be regulation. We had a 4 overtime game earlier this year with Washington. So All-Stars who shine their brightest in clutch moments. That's big time stuff and a building block for the Mystics.
Digit deficit on June the 12th as Onyenwere came up short on the 3. Took a buzzer beater from Citron to lift the Mystics in that game.
There when Washington got another offensive rebound.
Iriafin off balance. A 20-piece for Iriafin.
Post dangerous.
Betts couldn't haul it in.
All-Stars who shine their brightest in clutch moments. That's big time stuff and a building block for the Mystics.
Digit deficit on June the 12th as Onyenwere came up short on the 3. Took a buzzer beater from Citron to lift the Mystics in that game.
There when Washington got another offensive rebound.
Iriafin off balance. A 20-piece for Iriafin.
Post dangerous.
Betts couldn't haul it in.
Post dangerous.
Betts couldn't haul it in.
What your strengths are and still have a problem containing it, that's massive stuff. That's why she's a 2-time All-Star. Zone here by the Mystics.
Rice has had a good shooting night, but they're going to tag the basketball there. Sends Rice to the
Tremendous job on the glass, a 41-27 advantage there, but those second chance points coming in huge. That's why that was one of the keys, a 23-7 advantage. Down the stretch here, they need to maximize that and keep the foot on the gas. Cracks at it.
Out to contest. 3 to shoot. Citron checks the clock, turns the corner. Sony gets it off in time. Yuskaita out to Nurse, all alone, 3 for her.
To get ready. That spray out triple. Nurse coming alive in the second half from range. A couple of
Citron initiating the contact. Narcisse had to walk it off, but calmly steps into the line and knocks it down.
89% striker. Sony Citron from the line this year.
Got them both.
That's the door slamming, but now you got to put the lock on it with your defense and stay locked in on this side.
Rice working, rejected by Betts.
Yep, great rotation and help on the second side by the...
Under 90 seconds to go. Washington content to run some clock and a timeout taken by Sydney Johnson. For it. Onyenwere down the lane for 2 more.
By Michaela Onyenwere. And Lauren Betts off the double team with the composed drop-off pack. And I think she got a piece of that one too. Lauren Betts with yet another block inside.
Washington sending in to play. Lucy Olsen also on the floor with Cass Prosper.
And Toronto sticking. But that was the right play. You like that pass to the opposite side. And
Zay Green also getting back in the game for Toronto. Key, the spin for 2.
This season, both Little Page, Bugs, and Harmon competing every single day and every single play for the Mystics.
Dougal Leach, like she may have gotten her heel stepped off on Dougal Leach, so to go back over to the tempo.
But they've been on the scout team and they've been giving the business to the other players on the squad, just them on the offensive end as well.
Harmon underneath, battling against Key, but she'll pick up the foul.
And her ability to come off the bench, but also sit and continue to learn in a developmental role now comes to decision making and setting the table for the team.
And it just furthers what Sydney Johnson has said over the last 2 years. Dividends this season.
No, the entire staff does an outstanding job with lift.
Into Dougal-Leach. She'll get the 2. Washington's streak of 11 straight games